It's your girl Kezi and we are back today with another video. It is Sunday. Let's cook dinner. Shrimp, crab, noodle soup called Banh. Have I ever had it? No. Do I want to try it? Yes. Do I think it's going to be good? Absolutely, because I'm cooking it. Let's just get right into it. I found this recipe off TikTok. I love all Asian cuisines. That's kind of like my number one. Then my number two is, what is my number two? I think my number two might be Spanish, Mexican-ish food. Getting off topic. So let's get into it. I don't know what this is gonna taste like, but it looked good on the internet. So I make Keo, Cambodian pho. Traditional pho just doesn't have enough flavor for me, so I prefer to make the Cambodian pho. So let's jump right into our ingredients. First, you're gonna need soup base, which is basically chicken bouillon. Of course, you need the Banh noodles. From what I saw, you don't actually need to use these noodles. It's like your preference, but these are the actual Banh noodles, as you can see. I've seen other people use like udon noodles, which is like a thicker noodle. You need scallions or green onion, shrimp paste, crab paste, MSG, fish sauce, shrimp, and you need crab. I have this crab that I have to crack because I need the meat out of it, and I have some leftover shrimp. Also, I've already pre-boiled pork neck bones. Pretty much all of your protein is optional besides the crab and the shrimp, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. This is how I'm gonna make it. I saw one with pork bones, and I had pork neck bones, and I love pork neck bones, so I'm gonna use the pork neck bones as well. Let's get this show on the road, baby. So the first step for this recipe is you're gonna take 2 onions and you're gonna place them in your pot. First, we have to peel the onions. We're gonna take our onions and we're gonna place our onions into the pot. And like I said, I already had some pre-boiled neck bones, so we're gonna go ahead and put that. You wanna put enough water in it so where it's level with the meat. So for me, that is gonna be 3 water bottles full. Now we're gonna put a top on it and we're gonna allow that to come to a boil. Start cracking my crabs. I didn't buy pre-cracked crab meat, so I have to crack this by hand. This is all of the crab meat from all 4 claws. Next, you want to mince you a shallot and a garlic. The recipe calls for you to use annatto seed. You fry those seeds in oil and it turns the oil into this like reddish color. I couldn't find it, so we're gonna improvise. We're gonna use African palm oil and we're gonna pour this into the pan, and that's what we're gonna use to saute our shallots. I mean, I don't know how much I need. I just did enough to coat the pan, so hopefully that's enough shallot. So hard trying to do double content, like it's crazy. TikTok is so funny acting. Everything has to be like aesthetically pleasing. While you are sauteing this, keep in mind you are still boiling your neck bones with your onion. And I didn't tell y'all to put salt in it. When you put your meat in it, you put salt in it as well. And let that just cook down. That's gonna cook on a simmer. After it comes to a boil, bring it to a simmer for an hour. And that should be enough time, like while you prep everything, that should be enough time to let the meat continue to cook down. Once you let it saute down, add a little bit of paprika, and then you're gonna add a half a tablespoon of your crab paste. Oh, God, what the hell is that? All right, so we're gonna do a tablespoon. I thought it would smell a lot worse. This is what the crab paste look like. We're gonna add a tablespoon and a half of crab paste. So that was a tablespoon. This is the half. I know it's gonna smell so bad in here once this is all done. Then you just blend it all together, and you let that cook down a little bit more. And after this continues to cook down, then you'll go in and add your crab meat. Let's add our crab meat into. It's a fly in here. I'm getting it. You're gonna mix that crab meat into your annatto seed oil mixture with your shallots and your garlic. It smells so good in here right now. We are broth. So we're gonna get our meat and our onion that has been boiling this whole time. We're gonna get it out. And you're gonna set it aside so we can start seasoning the water. Now that that's out, add our shrimp paste in to our broth first. Little MSG. They call this make shit good seasoning. And then we're gonna go in with a little bit of sugar. Your broth should be boiling. It should have a slight color to it. I have a couple of shrimpies. I'm gonna drop those into the pot and I'm gonna let those cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. While we wait on that, we're gonna take our cornstarch and we're gonna make a cornstarch slurry. So that's gonna be about a tablespoon of cornstarch and mix it into the cornstarch so it can make your broth a little bit thicker. This part is optional. Just like all of this stuff is like can be manipulated. I want the thicker broth, so that's what I'm choosing to do. I'm gonna say this is about a cup of cornstarch and water. More cornstarch in mine because it's not cornstarching like it needs to be, baby. It should have been about 3 minutes, I think. And I'm going to put that back to the side. And put that back to the side. These are really small shrimps in mine. You don't have to use tiny shrimp. I don't want shrimp in mine. So I just use little shrimp. Now we're taking our crab meat mixture and adding that back into our pot. I'll set that to the side, give it a good little mix. And then immediately after, you're gonna go in with your cornstarch slurry, which is, like I said, gonna thicken up your broth. So I'm gonna mix that all around. Oh shit, I just got some on. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna stain. While I let that come to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and put the Banh noodles in the pot so they can cook down. It shouldn't take more than like 2 or 3 minutes. You can buy Banh noodles that are already pre-boiled. I just like the ones that I have to boil myself for storage purposes. We have our cooked noodles, and now it's time to assemble our bowl.